Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please?
Attention. Do I have everybody's attention now? Burn it down!
This is the In My House Pro Wrestling Podcast.
Finally, The Rock has come back home.
ScottyVia brings you your new favorite pro wrestling podcast.
There is nothing you could do that is more dangerous than wrestling CM Punk.
He's got the latest in covering all of the major promotions in professional wrestling.
Austin 316 says I just whipped your ass.
Breaking news and hot topics, he's covering everything from Monday night till Sunday night's main event.
I'm the hottest thing in professional wrestling. I'm Dr. Britt Baker.
And we never forget to go old school.
I was rowdy before rowdy was cool.
From the golden era
The irresistible force meeting the immovable object.
to the attitude era.
And if you're not done with that, Billy's got 2 words for you.
To the revolution.
It's about the 14 years it took me to go from undesirable to un-goddamn deniable.
And everything in between. This is your pro wrestling podcast. This is In My House.
Give me a hell yeah.
Welcome everyone to the In My House Pro Wrestling Podcast. We are back. We are here. We're talking pro wrestling. ScottyVia, UK Tom, Monday Night Mike. Woo! What is going on, fellas?
Put my shoes on.
This guy's going out for a run after the show. Apparently, he's going to go cut some laps.
No. So to speak.
Hi, Poppy.
Is that what they're calling it these days?
Yep, I guess so.
So I'll see you in about 45 minutes, UK Tom.
45 seconds, motherfucker.
Oh!
No, I'm not coming. He's coming.
Someone's coming.
Oh, fuck. This is my favorite show already. I love it so much.
There's the name for the episode. Someone's coming.
Someone's coming.
Anyway, wrestling.
Pro wrestling is fun. Guys, we have a very busy week. Monday Night Raw was a big show. AEW Grand Slam is this week. The Vince McMahon documentary drops this week. This McMahon documentary. I have homework now, fellas. I've got to go on a local radio morning show on Thursday morning to review it and talk about the entire thing.
Perfect.
So I've got to crush this whole thing, plus have a work day. So I got to get up like at 6:30 tomorrow morning,
Gross.
watch as much as I can before I actually got to go to work and do my job. And then as soon as I'm done, go back home, watch the rest. So I'm good to go for they haven't told me the time, but it's a morning show and I know their structure. It might be like a 6:30 or 7 a.m. interview. So got my work cut out for me.
Does that mean I don't have to watch it?
No, you gotta watch it.
We should drop a little bit of news about the Vince McMahon documentary with us. So we talked about how to cover the show, the Vince McMahon documentary. 6 episodes, at least an hour long each, are dropping on Netflix on Wednesday. How are the In My House Pod Boys gonna cover this? I didn't want to just do a show trying to cover all 6 episodes. We'd be missing way too much. But I also didn't want to do 1 episode per episode, because by the time we talk about episode 6, it would be 6 weeks from now. We're deep into November by the time we're wrapping that up. So we had a good chat. The way we're going to do it is starting this week, we're going to review episode 1 and 2. Next week, episode 3 and 4. And then the week after that, episode 5 and 6. So that's how we're going to cover the Vince McMahon documentary. I think that's a fine way of doing it.
It's a great plan, or hear me out. I like that plan.
Okay, I'm hearing.
You're a social media guy, ScottyVia, head of the social media team.
Thank you.
Co-creator of the In My House Pro Wrestling Podcast. why not put up a poll? Do you want the 2 episodes per week, or do you guys want a megasode of the Mr. McMahon documentary?
I'm going to throw that up right now as we're recording. So by the time anyone's hearing this, they probably...
Because that way, we give ourselves the time. I'll be watching tomorrow. I will have it completed. Because anyone who knows the history of the show knows my excitement for this documentary. But leave it in the hands of the In My House Pro Wrestling Podcast faithful.
So if you haven't yet, head on over to our Twitter account at In My House Pod. Find the poll. It'll be one of the newest tweets. I'll pin it on our account. I'll put it as our top tweet and vote either, episode or 2 episodes at a time or a megasode. And let us know. We'll do whatever it is that you guys vote on, and we'll just kind of go from there. But
speaking of the Mr. McMahon documentary,
let's get into it while I get my poll up. Okay.
Let's get into Vince McMahon getting out in front of the Mr. McMahon documentary. Holy hell! Let me pull up this tweet, guys, because boy, was it a doozy.
You're pulling up a tweet. Scott's getting his poll up. What's going on around here?
What the fuck are you doing over there? Welcome back, UK Tom.
Everybody's pulling something.
Shit, man. This fucking guy.
I'm just popping over here left and right. My goodness. I
just
love it.
Loving it. I wish someone just put this in a story. And none of this shit's set up on my...
Do you need me to just send it to you, pal?
All right, here we go. Here we go, everybody. This is I want to say it's from Vince McMahon directly, but he's probably got people who wrote this up for him. But what day did this come out?
Yesterday.
It was yesterday? Yeah. So Vince McMahon got on social media before the release of the Mr. McMahon Netflix series to say the following: I don't regret participating in this Netflix documentary. The producers had an opportunity to tell an objective story about my life and the incredible business I built, which were equally filled with excitement, drama, fun, and a fair amount of controversy and life lessons. Unfortunately, based on an early partial cut I've seen, this doc falls short and takes a predictable path of conflating the Mr. McMahon character with my true self, Vince. The title and promos alone make that evident. A lot has been misrepresented or left out entirely in effort to leave viewers intentionally confused. The producers use typical editing tricks with out-of-context footage and dated sound bites, etc., to distort the viewer's perception and support a deceptive narrative. In an attempt to further their misleading account, the producers use a lawsuit based on an affair I ended as evidence that I am, in fact, Mr. McMahon. I hope the viewer will keep an open mind and remember that there are 2 sides to every story. Holy sheep shit, Vince McMahon. The idea that you ran WWE, your baby, and talk about the way you cut a documentary to be misleading. You made a television program, man. A weekly television program. A few of them. What are you talking about? Of course this was going to be the outcome of this documentary. Like, how did you not know signing up? And especially when that news broke where they're like, oh, we're pivoting onto this lawsuit. Yeah. Hoopgate needs to be talked about. It needs to be covered.
That's the thing. Like, the documentary was going to be interesting before the lawsuit happened, because obviously a lot of shit happened when Vince McMahon bought that company from his dad.
Boots.
I didn't even do that on purpose. A lot happened when he bought that company from his dad.
Mm-hmm.
But then as soon as that lawsuit came in, all of that went out the window, and it's like, now it's interesting in a very different way.
See, I think we're still going to get a solid 4 episodes that don't mention the lawsuit or anything at all. A lot of it is going to be buying it from his dad, the golden era, the attitude era, going public, dealing with the steroid trial, all that stuff. And then I think maybe in the last episode, maybe even just the last half of the episode is when the lawsuits and the allegations will come up, and they'll address it there. But because it's nothing's gone to court because nothing's been proven or not proven, whatever it is. I don't think we're going to get much out of that. I'm very curious to find out if they've interviewed anybody that's maybe been on a negative side of having to out Vince McMahon in a sexual conduct like that.
Janelle Grant's lawyer released a statement saying that nobody from her office or anything like that was contacted to be part of the documentary. So I don't think they're going to dig up anyone that's not even anything to do with a lawsuit to talk about it. But
I mean, my office wasn't contacted either.
And the In My House podcast team thanks the Lord for that.
Do you imagine how stoked I'd be?
Mike, we heard you were a paralegal.
Yeah. Call from a lawyer. Is this one paralegal, Mike? I was. That's Monday night, Mike. To you, sir. I'm shocked because I know we've seen enough docs produced by WWE. I think I've gone through so many of those. I was just watching one free on YouTube, at the 50th mark or whatever, they put that one out.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just I know that story of how he gets the company and how he does that. I'm also forgetting that this documentary isn't just for us. Diehard wrestling fans have seen those documentaries. So there's a whole new audience. What was it? 280 million people subscribed to Netflix.
Yeah.
So it's a massive audience you're going to. So you have to cater to that crowd. This thing's going to get talked about. Social media will be exploded within the next coming weeks because of some of the stuff in this documentary, I think. But I don't see how that can't be a huge focal point when you're ending the series.
It has to be. It will be. They've even addressed it somewhat in the trailer, which I think Vince addresses or kind of talks about in that statement. So it's going to be in there at some point. I'm glad it's something that they aren't ignoring or just saying, we wrapped up before these allegations came out or around the time we just didn't do anything with it. The best thing is I'm pretty sure 99% of our listeners are diehard wrestling fans as it is, but for the 1% that isn't, you're going to get what we don't really get, which is a documentary about the WWE that isn't produced, isn't paid for, has no influence by the WWE. This is completely separate. You're getting a completely fresh set of eyes and ideas and opinions from the company that produced this and is putting it out. And that's something that us diehard wrestling fans, we haven't gotten unless it's been a dark side of the ring. And that's usually a lot of just bitter people that just want to get their gripes out about Vince or the Federation or whatever it may be. So,
well, the last one would have been Beyond the Mat, surely. That would have been
outside,
yeah.
outside Dark Side of the Ring, right?
Dark Side is another great example.
It's got to be Beyond the Mat, which was hugely successful.
Big time.
Same with Wrestling with Shadows.
Yep.
Bret Hart's, where it just happens to be at the filming at the time where Vince and Bret's fallout happens, and it's one of the biggest and best documentaries about pro wrestling you'll ever see. So I'm very curious. I think there's going to be some recycled footage that we've probably already seen from interviews on the network or the DVD days kind of thing, with either wrestlers that aren't with us anymore, or maybe wrestlers don't want to talk now, but they've got that footage from before that are going to be used. So very interested to see how this turns out. Again, it drops Wednesday, which is the same day that this episode's dropping. So it's out now for you people.
Watch it.
Let us know what you think.
It'll make you love, it got me back into wrestling by learning more about what happens behind the scenes. To this day, behind the scenes of wrestling is so intriguing.
Dude,
it makes you enjoy the product.
It was the Mr. McMahon DVD that you and I watched that got you back into wrestling while we should have been at work working.
100%.
We
were working.
Yeah, we were at work.
Yeah.
So, fun fact, Mike and I are working at a video store, Rogers Video Store number 524.
Woo!
And someone returns a Vince McMahon wrestling DVD in our return box. We didn't rent DVDs of pro wrestling at all. I think it belonged to the library, maybe. Can't remember. But we didn't know what to do with it. let's pop it in. Let's watch it, Mike. You're gonna love this. And Mike had talked to me about, watching pay-per-views at his parents' place and meeting Bret Hart and all this stuff, but he didn't watch currently. And I'm like, yeah, it's pretty good. Now that they're putting out all these DVDs, you're learning so much more. It's so much better. And that DVD got him back into pro wrestling. And here we are today.
Yeah, like I'm excited too, because like he's such a fascinating guy. Like some of the decisions made are just like, holy hell. But also like you can't deny the impact he's had on pop culture, on television. Like it's massive. Like as a businessman, there's some people you have to look and be like, whoa. He is like P.T. Barnum. Like the circus kept going.
I'm very curious to find out what they talk about and what they show, because I do believe that the man Vince McMahon is different from the businessman Vince McMahon. He's running a business. He's trying to build this worldwide empire, and he does. He makes it go public. He did it all. It's a family-owned business, right? Vince did that, but at the same time, not every closet is clean. There's skeletons in the closet. There's corners cut. There's wrestlers that didn't get the shot that they were told they were going to get. There's all these things where, it's a bit of a dirty path. Meanwhile, on the other side of that, you're getting the golden era with Hulk Hogan. You're getting the Attitude Era with Stone Cold Steve Austin. You're getting the Cena era, all that stuff. So it's all sunshine and rainbows, but there is some darkness to what happens. But that's business, in my opinion. So I'm definitely going to try to separate what I think is a business decision, because it's no different than anybody else losing their job because of budget or bad attitude or whatever. So I hope people keep an open mind about that.
I mean, I'm getting ready to laugh a lot. Anyone who's listening to the podcast, like, like there's going to be clips for sure. Like stuff's getting clipped. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
But I'm excited for, again, like all the people who have been out of wrestling, because everyone has a moment with it, right? Like wrestling is just, it's too big where if you're young or wherever, you were in it or at least aware of it. So it'll be nice. And docuseries are the hotness.
I love them.
Everybody loves a docuseries.
I watched the Ashley Madison one a couple of weeks ago. It was fantastic.
Yeah, everybody, let's calm down on the murder, though. A lot of true crime happening.
Lots.
Let's enjoy Mr. McMahon with some light true crime.
It's funny you say that, like anybody can watch this. The gentleman that's invited me on his morning radio show, not a wrestling fan. He grew up, he was an adult when the golden era was happening. So he's an older guy, not super old, but he's like, what's this McMahon documentary everyone's talking about that's coming out? And wrestling's not on his radar at all, but that's just the kind of hype around, we're going to get some real truth coming out about Vince. So he's like, I need you to watch it. I want you on my show Thursday. Get her done. I'm like, yeah, you're asking me to watch pro wrestling stuff? I'm in.
And then talk about it?
Yeah. Got a couple plugs on the potty too. So
the thing for me is going to be, and I don't know if this is just a me thing with my stupid brain full of stupid facts, or if it's a wrestling fan thing, but the minute they have stuff in there that's not factually correct, it's going to piss me off for the entire documentary.
The joy of the documentary system, though, right? Like, there's deeper stories to what you're seeing on screen, but to the average viewer, they won't know. But it's exciting if they go down the rabbit hole to look.
Yeah.
That's the thing for us diehards. It's like, okay, we've heard this version of the story 1,000 times. If you're not telling it that way, is that the real story? Are you making it up? Or what have you heard that we haven't heard? That is very intriguing to me as a diehard pro wrestling fan of 40 years. Is what are we really going to find out? Or is there going to be anything where they're like, you know what? This has been the myth for however long. This is the real story about what happened. So, guys, I can't wait. I'm so fucking excited.
I mean, UK Tom's probably a lot like me. There was a period of time where I probably watched like hundreds of hours of shoot interviews. Like it just so many, and like stuff I would clip. Like to this day, there's one of New Jack, Bubba and Devon ain't shit. Never have been, never will be. My all-time favorite. Rest in peace, King.
But the other thing is as well, like I was in a very privileged position for a long time driving people around the UK, so I had almost my own little shoot interviews in the car.
Yeah,
that's like awesome.
I had a very drunk Brian Knobs and Jerry Sags in my car for 4 hours.
Wow.
And Well, obviously they were drunk. So was what they're saying true? They're also
Probably.
wrestlers from the 80s. So there's all sorts of shit going on up in their little brains. But
And cocaine.
the shit,
Yeah.
I met Sabu at a meet and greet once before I'd ever driven him anywhere, and I had the marked picture taken, and I shook his hand, and he turned around to me and said, "Hey, brother, can you get me cocaine?" I don't know you.
You know, that doesn't
or
matter.
cocaine.
You start asking everyone around you. It's like, you guys have any? Seriously, Sabu just asked me for cocaine.
He's homicidal, so please get me some cocaine.
that motherfucker can throw a chair, so somebody get some cocaine.
That's right.
Guys, let us know what you think of the show as you're watching it. Little tidbits that you find interesting, any clips you find interesting, send them to us at In My House Pod on all the socials. We'd love to hear it. We're obviously going to recap the show, recap the documentary series, and give our thoughts on it. I don't care if we do episodes or if we do a megasode. I just don't want to miss out on anything that is super interesting and talking about. So I'll be taking notes. I'm going to be that guy just because I have to talk about it. I've got to have my notes clear. So very excited for the Mr. McMahon documentary coming out this week. Fellas, Monday Night Raw happened last night. And from Ontario, California, thought the crowd was okay. Not great. Tom disagrees.
I was incredibly confused because I didn't know Ontario, California existed.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, as an Englishman, my North American geography is spotty sometimes. And I was like, why do they keep saying Ontario? Why don't they just say Toronto? And then I'm like, wait, they were just here. Oh, they're in California. What the
There
fuck?
you go. Learn something new. Learn something new. But guys,
I thought the crowd was okay. I thought they were up most of the time, but like I said, it could also be that I had my TV ridiculously loud. So everything was up.
Everything was up. It's impossible to talk about Monday Night Raw without talking about what happened last night. Sami Zayn in the ring with Ludwig Kaiser and trying to get that world title match against Gunther. Gunther keeps saying, you guys can't see this, but I'm getting double middle fingers from both of the guys right now. Sami Zayn is an issue between myself and the other two members of the In My House Pod. And I've got to be honest, guys, I don't understand it. I don't get it.
I currently feel about Sami Zayn how you feel about Zack Sabre Jr.
You think Sami Zayn is boring as shit and you want to fall asleep during every one of his matches?
Oh my God.
Yes.
Okay.
What?
More his promos, and I will caveat that I did say currently.
We've been through this. It's the Gunther program. There's nothing wrong with Sami Zayn. It's just in this program.
No, I'm bored of him.
Wow. Okay. Tom is on a different end of this spectrum than I am.
So you guys didn't like that Sami Zayn was put in a program with Gunther going into WrestleMania. You thought it should have been Chad Gable. I get that.
Yes.
That's fine. You just didn't like the booking decision. But since then, you've continuously shit on the sweetheart of Canada, Sami Zayn, week after week after week. Meanwhile, a year before that, everyone loves him. He's main eventing night one of WrestleMania. He's in one of the biggest storylines. I guarantee you both were popping like motherfuckers when he hit Roman Reigns with a chair. And now all of a sudden, nothing from you guys. He's not worth your time. I'm getting killed on the group chat because Sami Zayn's on your TV. It's fuck Sami Zayn this, and I want to shit in his face that. It's horrible what they're doing to the ultimate underdog from the underground, Sami Zayn. What Sami Zayn is doing right now is just laying some groundwork. They're putting him in storylines and feuds, which, look, we know he's not beating Gunther for the world title.
So why are we doing it?
Then why are we doing it?
Because that's pro wrestling.
There's always a chance.
Yeah, but your same thought is just like, you go from loving him to hating him. That's pro wrestling.
No. You guys went from like, you got a Sami Zayn t-shirt out of the two of us, or the three of us. You've got a Sami Zayn t-shirt. You used to love Sami Zayn, but the quick turn.
I'm an OG Zaniac.
You're fickle motherfuckers when it comes to Sami Zayn, and I don't like it.
We're banned. We're just banned.
Banned from talking about it on the group chat. I will not stand for any Sami Zayn slander. He's probably, whenever he does wrestle Gunther, it's going to be match of the night. You fucking know it.
I mean, if Gunther doesn't pin him in 8 seconds, I'm fast forwarding that motherfucker.
I'm going to fast forward you. That's bullshit.
Oh, well, he's banned. You don't even have to fast forward him. He's banned.
You're banned from watching it. I ban you from watching it when it happens.
What are you, Chris? Are you Chris Jericho banning Cornette from watching AEW?
You wish I was Chris Jericho.
I do, so I can tell you how much of a motherfucking asshat you are.
Whoa.
I love Jericho.
Okay.
Love you, Jericho.
Jericho can sniff my taint.
All right, let's reel it back in here. Taint sniffing, and good God. People are heated over Sami Zayn. I think my issue, especially last night, because you guys know me, Monday Night Mike, I like to digest my Monday Night Raw in exactly 20 minutes, airtight. If there's one thing I feel bad for is Kaiser. It is a really intriguing dude on the card, and every loss is not helping the case of a guy who should, I think, be something.
I don't agree. I think the matches he's putting on, he eats those losses, but it's just that's his place right now. But I think he's getting himself over in those losses.
I don't think so.
I thought the match, despite shitting on Sami Zayn, which I will admit mostly is to rile up Scott.
No, don't take the heat away. See, cut that out, Scott.
You're still banned. You're still banned. I don't give a fuck. I don't even believe him. I don't believe him.
Well, yeah, that's fair. I did enjoy his match last night with Kaiser, mainly because Kaiser is so smooth in the ring. And everything that guy does looks fantastic. I think I've mentioned this before. And I think what they might do maybe next year is put the tag titles on Gunther and Kaiser to make them important, which is what Gunther is doing right now, is making every title important.
I'd be down for that. I'd love to see that. And then you finally get this eventual split between those two guys.
That's going to help obviously elevate Kaiser, right? I think you're going to have to get away from Gunther or a hell of a program between the two of them.
I really hope they're one of the teams that never break up. I hope they're a New Day.
Nah.
New Day rocks. I can't get into the drama that's in the New Day. That hurts my heart more than the Sami Zayn stuff right now that I'm dealing with you guys. So you had said that it's his promos that are bugging you. Is it just because it's somewhat, I will agree, sometimes it's the same of I'm here to fight, I'm here to prove myself, and I want to be a champion, and I'm here to fight for you fans. Is that what you don't like?
I'm bored of it.
Okay. I'll accept that. That's very so banned. I'll accept that.
Conspiracy theories. Fucking hell.
You're banned.
Conspiracy.
So you're even allowed to talk about
You're banned from big words now.
Yeah.
Sammy last year on SmackDown, where he was doing the Johnny Knoxville stuff and all of that, or whenever that was hilarious. I loved it. It
was absolutely excellent.
Let Sammy be a funny heel, and I will love that guy again. Give me, I'm fighting for the people, Sammy, and he's got fuck off heat with me almost immediately.
Can I
give you
my?
What do you mean?
You're banned, Mike. You're banned. You're fine. If I'm being honest, I think it won't come right away, or really, really soon. But I think before WrestleMania, both Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens will have turned heel, and I don't know if they'll be formed together or a team or anything like that. But I think they will both turn heel, and they'll be vicious.
I want Kevin Owens as a heel again, and I want them two to stay apart. We've seen them apart and together too many times. Just stay apart.
I mean, for Sammy, you have to look forward to eventual bloodline stuff again. That all comes back. That's going to come back to a head. So Sammy, no matter what, you're the loved member of the bloodline. Universally loved, like you said earlier. So we got to get back there. Granted, yeah, your points are good. He has the win on Gunther. Gunther needs the win. It's good for Bad Blood to have that match on the card.
Is it a Bad Blood?
Not yet.
Yeah, talk to you on Monday. But yes, I think that match will be on the card.
Well, then I think we might actually get it in less than a minute then, because that will break the 5 match rules.
I think we get it on a Monday Night Raw.
What are we doing? It's even worse. worse.
It's not worse. It's fine. You can put that stuff on the big show, on a big show like Monday Night Raw. Especially if when they go to 2 hours, that would be a hell of a main event for a 2-hour show, which is coming up in 2 weeks here. So, I think Sammy's getting involved in the Bloodline storyline coming out of this feud with Gunther, and I think it'll be awesome. I think it leads right into Survivor Series. I think he'll be part of Team Roman and Team Uso if Jimmy is healthy. That's just a guess. I'm not breaking ground here. I think everyone kind of thinks that, to be honest with you. But
you know what else was kind of awesome?
What's that?
Yeet.
Boys, let's get into that. Just I want to remind our audience, everything that Monday Night Mike and UK Tom said about Sami Zayn was banned, so it doesn't really matter and count. It literally means nothing. So they're banned. But we do have to get into what UK Tom had led into. Is a new Intercontinental Champion was crowned on Monday Night Raw.
Could this be the moment? Could it be for the first time ever? Could Jay grab gold? Oh my, wait, here it is. Go ahead and yeet. He did it.
Here is your winner and new Intercontinental Champion, main event, Jey Uso.
Main event, Jey Uso versus the Intercontinental Champion Braun Breaker. Guys, we got almost a 3-4 segment match here to end Monday Night Raw. And in my opinion, a shocking finish with Jey Uso becoming your new Intercontinental Champion. Not shocking because I don't think he deserves it or earned it, but we rarely get big title matches on TV where there's a title change. So this was big. Guys, big pop for Jey Uso winning the IC title.
I loved it.
You pop? Did you pop? Did you shoot up? Like, holy fuck, you did it.
I mean, I didn't shoot up, but I loved it. And I thought the match was great. That might be one of the better Braun Breaker matches, definitely since he was called up to the main roster.
Agree.
I still fucking hate his music. Death Rebel, I can't wait for the end of their contract, is all I'm going to say. I've ranted enough today.
Nobody heard it because you were banned, but go on.
I banned about that too.
No, you're fine. You're fine on the Death Rebel front.
I really, really, really liked this match. 20 minutes, 20 seconds was the time because I'm a geek like that and I know these things. It was very, very good.
Yeah, great TV match. I'm probably guilty of it as well, where everyone expected a long Braun Breaker IC title reign, just because he's establishing himself on the main roster. He got a very quick push to that IC title, and now he's lost it already. And I love that. I love the fact that they had a great match. Both guys were completely exhausted by the end of the match, and the veteran got the one up on him and got the victory. And it didn't look Braun Breaker look weak. It didn't make him look like a rookie or anything like that. It was just the better man won that night, and the IC title changed hands, and the place went fucking nuts. It was fantastic television. There was a bit of a lull in the middle of that match with the crowd, I believe, which is fine. It was a longer TV match, but Jey Uso finally getting that singles championship, finally getting a push, because honestly, since he's gone single since Mania, it's been start and stop with Jey a little bit, but now he's the IC title holder. I'm excited to see what's next.
So related, but not. If they bring back Jimmy now and he takes the US title from LA Knight, how do we feel about that?
Good. Get LA Knight off my TV.
That's fair. But
we'll get into that next week.
Yeah, that's for another time. But I'd kind of like it if they did that, I think.
I think it would be fun. I think it would be a very cool visual if he gets that before Survivor Series of War Games.
Yeah.
And you've got the Usos coming out wearing championships, but they're singles titles. You've got Roman coming out just looking like a badass. You've got Sami Zayn, the new world heavyweight champion, along with them. I think it would look great. Your band, it would look awesome.
It would look shit.
It would look awesome.
That belt is far too big for Sami. It'll be fucking falling down all the time.
He'll wear it on his shoulder anyway.
Pop, but your band.
In terms of like the match, yeah, like ride the wave of main event Jey Uso, who I'm not crazy about in that picture. I don't know if they're just seeing the light and like, hey, Braun Breaker, maybe you're not what we want with that title. Like maybe we can elevate that IC title better without you. That's fine. Like I do agree with you, Scotty, that I don't think it hurt Braun Breaker last night. It really didn't feel that way. I didn't walk away going like, well, they just gave this guy the fucking title and none of this makes sense. But no, like it was fine. Like I don't think it hurts them. I think they'll touch again in the future here and main event will still go over.
My only thought with regards to Braun Breaker's title reign, and it's more of a me thing than a them thing, but 51 days he held that title and he only defended it once. I miss when guys would be defending their title, and girls, every other week.
Yeah, it's especially that title, right? Like
especially
the worker
that
title.
one.
Yeah. I do agree with that. I'm kind of getting sick of the open challenges. There's no storyline there. It's just a good match for the sake of a good match. So I'm glad that they don't really do that. We know that they're defending these titles on live events, on house shows. I don't know why they don't say that on TV. It drives me nuts because they do defend the title on house shows. So it makes it sound better. Like, like he's been defending it. I actually saw some tweets today about how they're getting sick of watching Monday Night Raw, but people like Punk and Drew and Rhea and sometimes Jay's not, like, these guys aren't wrestling on Monday Night Raw. It's a 3-hour show, but they're kind of coming out and doing a promo or they're doing a video package. Maybe they come on after the show, but your TV product. And I kind of noticed it too. When I thought about it, I'm like, yeah, Punk has not wrestled on Raw. Drew hasn't wrestled on Raw forever. Rhea hasn't wrestled on Raw forever. Jey Uso is just getting back to wrestling on Raw after basically being off all summer long.
Nobody wrestles enough anymore, in my opinion.
Can't argue that.
Healthy.
It does keep people healthy.
And especially your stars. Your stars don't need to do that all the time.
It does, but when they've dropped a day of house shows already, like fucking wrestle on a Monday.
I think we'll get more of that when they do get away from house shows, which is apparently coming pretty soon. But I would like to see them talk about them defending their titles at house shows to just keep the value of the championship up more than anything. So that's my thoughts on that. But Jey Uso, new Intercontinental Champion. I'm curious to see what the next program is. If it's not Bloodline related, what it will be. I think Braun gets a rematch at some point, and I think Jey holds on to it. But yeah, that's where I'm going there. Curious to see what's next for the IC title holder, main event Jey Uso.
Let's just do a quick one before a vignette happened. Obviously, people are talking about online. A quick image came up. If it be PFR or RPF or FPR, that little flame vignette. Guys, what do we think? Who is it?
It's the Viking Raiders.
Yeah. I also think they're going back to the War Raiders.
Which, yeah, that'd be cool.
So.
I like on the internet, it's like, it's Penta and Rey Fenix.
I know.
Like, not yet.
They're still
not with that.
Yeah, they're still under contract, so fuck off. Guys, watch the Mr. McMahon documentary. Let us know what you think of the show, anything we talked about here on our socials at In My House Pod. We've got to get out of here. For UK Tom, for Monday Night Mike, who are both banned, I'm ScottyVia. This has been the In My House Pro Wrestling Podcast.
Welcome to my house. Play that music too loud. Show me what you do now. We don't have to go out. Welcome to my house. Welcome to my house. Welcome to my house. It's my house. Yowie wowie.